Hello everyone, welcome to the course study on solid mechanics. In today's lecture we are going to discuss the last topic of our unit number 1, that is thermal stresses. Before proceeding for actual part of thermal stresses, we will see what is natural deformation. Now all of you know that when a body is subjected to a temperature change, it gets elongated if the temperature increases and it becomes shortens if the temperature decreases. If this deformation due to the change in temperature of the body is not prevented, then it is called as a natural deformation. Now it's a common concept that when any material is subjected to rise in temperature, it gets elongated, or if the material is subjected to decrement into the temperature, then it becomes shortens. At the time of elongation and shortening of the body, if that particular deformation is not prevented, then it is known as natural deformation of the body. For the natural deformation of the body, there will be the no stress or the strain will be there. But if I prevent the natural deformation of that particular member, then it causes the thermal stresses in the body. So those stresses are nothing but tensile or compressive in nature. For rise in temperature, the stresses are compressive, while the fall in temperature, the stresses are tensile in nature. For the rise in temperature, all of you know that the body will get elongated from its original length. To bring the body to its original length, we will require to apply the compressive force. Therefore, it is given that for the rise in temperature, the stresses are compressive in nature. Now, with the fall in temperature, all of you know that the body will become shorter from its original length. To bring the body to its original length again, we will require to apply the tensile force. So, it is given that the temperature is, for the fall in temperature, the nature of stresses are tensile in nature. Now, we are going to derive the derivation of thermal stresses in a bar of single material. Means for that purpose we are going to consider a single bar of AB of length L. Now it is given in the figure. Let us consider a metal bar AB which has a length L. Let T1 will be the initial temperature of the bar, means before heating. Now T2 will be the final temperature of the bar after heating. So there will be the rise in the temperature. T1 is the initial temperature of the bar and T2 will be the final temperature of the bar after heating. As there will be the change in temperature of the bar, therefore we have delta T is equal to T2 minus T1. Now T1 has minus sign because all of you know that T2 will be the increase in the temperature and T1 will be the initial temperature of the body. Therefore we have a change in temperature is equal to delta T, which is equal to T2 minus T1. Now let us assume that the free expansion of the material due to rise in temperature is not restricted. Means we will consider a natural deformation of the body. In case of natural deformation of the body will be free to expand. Its expansion is not prevented. Therefore, as shown in the figure, we have the free expansion BC is equal to delta L. This is the portion BC which is equal to delta L. Initially, we have considered a body AB of length L. That particular body AB is subjected to a rise in temperature. Due to rise in temperature, the body will get elongated from its original length, and that elongation of the body from its original length will be delta L. Therefore, BC is equal to delta L. Therefore, as it is a free expansion of the bar, we have delta L is equal to alpha L into delta T, where alpha is nothing but it's a coefficient of thermal expansion, and L is the original length of the body and delta T is the change in temperature of the body. Remember that the free expansion of the bar is given by the formula delta L is equal to alpha L delta T. Once you know the value of delta L, we can easily find out the value of thermal strain. Strain, all of you know that it is change in length upon original length. If I put the value of change in length, that is delta L, it is alpha L delta T upon L. L will get cancelled. We have thermal strain is equal to alpha into delta T. Now we are going to assume that the load P is applied at the end of the bar, which induces the stresses in the bar. Now, as we have applied a rise in temperature to the body, therefore there will be the expansion of that particular bar. Due to the expansion of the bar, its length will increase. To bring this length to its original position, we have to apply a compressive force at the end of the bar as shown in this figure. Therefore, as discussed in the previous slide, if I prevent the free expansion of the bar, then there will be the thermal stress induced into the body. That thermal stress will be given by thermal strain into Young's modulus of elasticity. By using Hooke's law, we have sigma is equal to E into epsilon. And all of you know that we have already found out the value of thermal strain alpha into delta T into E. Therefore, the value of thermal stress by using Hooke's law is given by sigma is equal to alpha delta T into E. Now, if the yielding at the support occur, then delta L will be equal to alpha L delta T minus theta. Yielding means its support get moved by some amount in mm or in centimeter. Therefore, if the yielding of the support occur, then we have delta L is equal to alpha L delta T minus theta. Therefore, we have strain is equal to change in length upon original length, which is equal to, after putting the value of delta L and L, I have sigma is equal to E into epsilon. Therefore, sigma is equal to E into alpha L delta T minus theta upon L, where theta is nothing but the yielding of the material. Now, we are going to discuss a numerical based on the thermal stresses. For that purpose, consider an example. The example is as follows. A brass rod 2 meter long is fixed at both the ends. If the thermal stress not to exceed 76.5 MPa, calculate the temperature through which the rod should be heated. Take E is equal to 90 GPa and alpha is equal to 17 into 10 raised to minus 6 per Kelvin. Now, all of you know that from the example, a brass rod of 2 meter long is fixed at the both ends. Means the length of the bar is 2 meter. The maximum value of the thermal stress means sigma maximum is given, it is 76.5 MPa. From the given data, calculate the temperature through which the rod should be heated, means T value we have to find out. Or we can see it as delta T also, that value we have to find out, and the value of E is also given in the numerical, it is 90 GPa. Therefore, as we have discussed in the last slide, we have sigma is equal to alpha into delta T into E. Therefore, if I put the value of sigma, the maximum stress, it is 76.5, the value of E 90 into 10 raised to 3, alpha is 17 into 10 raised to minus 6 into T, we will have T is equal to 50 Kelvin. Now this is the formula which is used to calculate the value of stress or the value of the temperature when a body is subjected to thermal stresses. Now we will discuss the another numerical based on the thermal stresses. The statement of the numerical is as follows. The two parallel walls 6 meter apart are stayed together by a steel rod 25 mm diameter, passing through a metal plate and nut at each end. The nuts are tightened home when rod is at a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius. Determine the stress in the rod when the temperature falls down to 60 degrees Celsius. We have two conditions. First one, if the ends do not yield, and the second one, if the end yield by 1 mm. The value of E is also given in the numerical, it is equal to 200 GPa, and alpha means the coefficient of thermal expansion is equal to 12 into 10 raised to minus 6 per degree Celsius. Now in the numerical it is given that two parallel walls 6 meter apart, means the distance between two walls which are parallel to each other, it is 6 meter, and those two walls are stayed together or bonded together by a steel rod of 25 mm diameter, means the diameter of the bar is 25 mm, and the length of the, as the distance between two walls is 6 meter apart, means it has same length as that of the rod. Therefore the length of the rod is equal to 6 meter, which is equal to 6000 mm. Now it is passing through a metal plate and nut at each end. The nut are tightened home. When rod is at a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, determine the stresses in the rod when temperature falls down 60 degrees Celsius. So the initial temperature will be 100 degrees Celsius and the second temperature will be 60 degrees Celsius. So there will be the decrement into the temperature. So that change in temperature will be 100 degrees Celsius minus 60 degrees Celsius, that is, it is 40 degrees Celsius. The value of E is 200 GPa, means 200 into 10 raised to 3 MPa. Alpha is 12 into 10 raised to minus 6 per degree Celsius. We have to find out the value of stresses when the ends do not yield. For the ends do not yield, we have the value of stress equal to sigma 1 equal to E alpha T. Therefore we have the value of E is equal to 200 GPa, means 200 into 10 raised to 3 MPa, into alpha is 12 into 10 raised to minus 6, and the T is nothing but it's a change in temperature, initial minus final, it is 40. Therefore we have the final answer, it is 96 MPa. Remember that this is the value of the stress when the end do not yield, means both the distance between the wall will remain as it is, but there will be the change in the temperature due to the fall in temperature. This is the final answer for the stress when the end do not yield. Now we will consider the value of stress when the yielding by 1 mm occur. When the yielding by something has happened, we have to find out the value of sigma 2, which is equal to E into L alpha T minus delta upon L. We can say it as a theta also. Delta, in the derivation we have considered theta instead of delta. Therefore we have E value 200 into 10 raised to 3 into the value of L is 6000 into alpha value is 12 into 10 raised to minus 6 into T value is 40 minus the yielding, means it is 1 mm, divided by the original length, it is 6000. After solving the above equation, we have the value of stress, it is 62.6 MPa, means it is the value of the stress when the yielding of the yielding of the wall take place by 1 mm is given by in this way. Here it is, we have completed our unit number 1. We will stop here. Thank you.